Hey guys, so I am currently parked. It's like 1.5 blocks to get to the fertility place that I'm going to start this whole IVF process of freezing my eggs. And I think it's really interesting that when I was talking to people about this, the only times I really heard about what actually is being done is through reality TV, and that's honestly the first time I've seen someone talk about egg freezing is on the Kardashians. So we are about to go through the IVF process, and I want to take you along this journey because I think it's really interesting and we don't really know too much about the process other than what we see on TV. So the first thing here, before I actually start medication or anything like that, before I can retrieve the egg, is to do a ultrasound. They have me doing an ultrasound today and getting blood work done today, just to see the baseline of where things are, what things are looking like. And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna just take you along. I probably won't be able to bring you in the office per se, but I will talk you through it of what's going on today. So that's number one. And then later on Friday, we have a virtual meeting with this fertility nurse to talk about everything, what to expect, how this is gonna work, all of that jazz. And I'll see you all shortly to tell you about my experience. Back in the car, just did a little Wawa run after my doctor's appointment. Got us some food, some lunch for later. And obviously, coffee because I have to go to work at 10:30. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about what happened. So I got lab work done for the fertility people. Wait, sorry, I'm like distracted. How to get home. New apartment, don't know how to get home from here. Okay. So anyway, got the lab work done, then I went upstairs in the same building to go to the fertility place and get an ultrasound. So this is the first time where I had to get a vaginal ultrasound where they shove something up your vag and do their thing with some gel on it. It was actually a really quick process. They told me to take my pants and underwear off, make sure I peed everything out. Oh, by the way, during the labs, they did a little surprise pee sample, and good thing I had some pee come out because I was not gonna wait there and do it all over again or just wait longer than I had to. Did the vaginal ultrasound. They were really quick about it. It wasn't like a long or scary process. I think the only thing scary is when they tell you to take your pants off and your underwear off and you're kind of just exposed and vulnerable for the doctor. That was about it. She did ask me if I was ever questioned to have PCOS, which I never was, but I've also only ever been to the gyno once ever in my life. So, you know, there's very little room for someone to find out if that's a thing or not. So hopefully it's not. Cancel, cross our fingers. Yeah, and then from here on Friday, I have a virtual appointment with a nurse to just go over everything and the results, what that means. And from there, we start the IVF process, which I'm kind of scared about because I think you have to like inject yourself with a needle twice a day. But I'll talk about it more when I get there. Hello. I got an email today from one of the nurses at the fertility, one of the nurses at the fertility center, and she sent me a bunch of stuff to look through. And when I mean a bunch of stuff, I mean so much information. But one of the things in the email was a link to watch these instructional videos on how to take the medications. And I apparently am going to be in 4 different medications: Menopur, Ganirelix, acetate, Novarel, and Luprolide trigger. So I started watching a video, right? And this is the first one.
Place the vial of diluent on a hard, flat surface. Push the Q-cap through the rubber stopper of the diluent vial. Draw air into the syringe. Place the tip of the syringe onto the connector end of the Q-cap. Invert the vial and simply pull back on the plunger to withdraw 1 milliliter of diluent from the vial into the syringe. Insert the spiked end of the Q-cap through the marked center circle of the rubber stopper into the vial. Without removing the Q-cap, invert the vial.
For this injection, we will be demonstrating using the abdominal site. Clean the injection site with an alcohol swab and allow to air dry. You should alternate injection sites each day.
I can't. I literally can't. You're telling me there's 4 different injections that I have to administer on myself for 14 days and then get a needle up my vajaja? Guys, chemo didn't even start yet. This isn't even chemo. I understand that this is a process that a lot of women go through who are having a hard time conceiving, and that's just crazy that it's crazy that us women go through so much to be a mother, so much to, yeah, really just so much to be a mother, whether you want to be a mother now or in the future, protecting your fertility. It's a lot. Dang, fuck.
Certified sonographers and physicians, predominantly at birth defects. These genetic consults will not show you.
So I have a nursing consult at 10 o'clock today, and I'm looking through all this paperwork, so I'm gonna have to sign some things while on this virtual nursing consult. Just wanting to watch the rest of these informational videos to see if I have any questions and read through all of this paperwork, like what? So yeah, there's a lot going here. I feel like I'm in school studying for an exam and just making sure I have everything correct. It seems like for the IVF process, it just seems like you need, like, everything's like super precise with the medications and what you're mixing with what when you inject yourself, and you do self-administered injections, and everything's timed in a precise way. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay? I'm not gonna lie. Okay guys, so we're gonna do a little unboxing video. I did get a package in the mail from this pharmacy / my doctor for this fertility injection medication that we have to do. The box is actually pretty big. It looks like this. Like, it's pretty big. Like, what's in here? It's like a good weight. So we're gonna open it, see if I have everything that I need, and I'll let the nurse know. But let me put you down. Okay, lots of things in here. Let's see. Oh, a lot of paperwork, information on each of the drugs that was sent. Oh my God. Guys, I just want to show you this entire bag. The entire bag is filled with needles. Look at that. All of this, these are all needles that I will be injecting myself with. With that, we have our sharps container. 2 more needles in this bag. Tinier needles in this bag. These are caps to inject the Menopur. 2 big bags that look like this. Four boxes of Menopur. We have some alcohol prep wipes, 2 boxes of Novarel, and 4 more boxes of Menopur. Checklist: 8 boxes of Menopur. 4 and 4. Yes. 1 box Novarel. I have 2 boxes of Novarel. I don't see a Lupron. And I don't have Ganirelix. Needles and syringes. Check. Alright, I need to go figure out all of this. But I did talk to the nurse today who went over all of this. It was a lot of information. The Menopure, which are in these boxes, I will be taking every day, every night, and then at some point, maybe like 5 or 6 days in, I'll be adding another injection that I'll be taking every morning, and then I have to go to the doctor's office every other day just so they can see where everything is, how I'm responding to the medication, what everything's looking like, so that they can then plan when I will be doing the egg retrieval. So all of it really just sounds like very last minute, just because I need to know where things are, how your ovaries are looking, all of that. And it's kind of overwhelming, but I'm just going with the flow at this point. If they tell me to come in, I'm coming in. If they say inject yourself with this medication on this day, sure, why not? I already have all the stuff for it, right? So this morning, I hard launched my cancer diagnosis. I put out an Instagram post, I put out a podcast, I put a little something on Facebook, and I published my GoFundMe page to help with treatment costs, all these different things that I have to get done that isn't covered by insurance. And I just am very overwhelmed by the support, by all the love. And even when it was saying that there were 100 donors, 100 donations made, I was like, I don't even know that many people, like actually know that many people. I don't even have that many friends. Like, I don't know who these people are, but it doesn't even matter, because I just want to say I really appreciate all of the love and support, and I feel everyone's good vibes that they're sending my way. I really do. And it's kind of overwhelming almost, all the support that people have given me, all the kind words, even people sharing their own stories with me. It's a lot, and I feel like I'm just gonna cry. But I just wanted to say thank you. And even though I haven't started treatment, I don't even know when that day will be. Probably at the end of July, mid to end of July, I want to guess. It's nice to feel a little relief off your shoulders from hearing how much different therapies and processes cost to just get things done, just to be normal, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. When it comes to fertility and ensuring that I can start my own family and conceive naturally, then, that's like years in advance, and people are donating their own hard-earned money for me to be able to do things like that. Because cancer is not something that I chose, obviously. I know my family and my boyfriend and his family are very appreciative of everyone's support as well. And all I can really say is thank you. And, my hope with sharing my story on the internet, hopefully being able to vlog a lot of my experience, is to provide awareness and even just provide comfort for people going through a similar situation as well. Maybe you want to just be able to prepare yourself. Maybe you just want to know that someone's been there too and someone's going through it with you. And even for the people who will never get cancer in their lives, I feel like you have no idea what the journey is like. You may have watched movies like The Fault in Our Stars or anything, really cancer related, and it's super sad and it never ends well for anyone in those movies. It really doesn't. But I feel like seeing it from a real person, hearing it from a real person going through what they're going through in the moment, it's kind of eye-opening. At least that's what I think. Hello from another day. It is July 5th. Luna has discovered my free drugs that I received from the nurses. because they have a donation center, and so there was some extra medication that they were able to give to me for free, and I won't have to pay for it. Let's see what we have in here. So I have a box of Lupron, which I've heard makes you feel like you're on menopause, so like night sweats, different things like that. I don't really know what menopause feels like, obviously. This is the trigger shot, which would be the last thing that I would be taking before going into surgery to get my eggs retrieved. And this is a potential trigger. They don't know exactly yet if I'll be using that. I was given 3 boxes, 3 pre-filled syringes of Ganirelix. Do we know what that is? No, but I know it's called Ganirelix, and I have to order 3 more of these and pay for them, unfortunately. But these don't have to be used right away. These will only be used a little bit into treatment of the IVF process. So I have 3 on deck that I got for free. Gotta order 3 more, and then we're good to go. We got all of our medication. And this one's easy because it's pre-filled. The other one that I have to take every day seems like a science project. You saw it. It's a little complicated, having to mix things and make sure you're doing it correctly. I should be expecting a call today to let me know if I should be starting the medications tonight. Once they take a look at my baseline ultrasound and blood work that I had to do this morning. Got the bandage to prove it. It looks huge. But I'm honestly really grateful that this lady found a vein in my arm. I gave her the whole rundown about how a lot of people have had difficulties finding a vein in my arm and therefore how to result in poking me in my hand. And she's like, I won't prick you unless I feel confident. And she did it, and she did it amazingly. The first go, the first try. I love that. And it made me nervous because I'm gonna have to do blood work and a vaginal ultrasound every other day, every time I go to the fertility office. I'll let you know what the nurse says when they call me a little bit later on today about the injections and if I can start that today. I was under the impression that you have to start when you start your period, and that was supposed to happen yesterday. So hopefully it happens today. Obviously I've been under a lot of stress with current events, i.e. having cancer. But the nurse was saying that as long as your blood work and ultrasound look fine, then they'll probably let me start it. Since they have a lot of random start times for people with medical conditions that have to go through this process. Luna, say hello. Say hello to your fans. Yeah? Are you excited for me to start the IVF process? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. I'm actually really nervous. Pat's not here, he's away, he's at work right now. But this is the time and the point in the video where I self-inject all of these medications every day for the next 14 days, which should be fun. And you know, I'm just hoping that I'll just get used to the process. But the first time is always nerve-wracking, especially since I've never done this before. And I'm really just following along with the video. Earlier I did watch the video again and wrote down all of the steps. 33 steps or so. That's amazing. First, they said do it on a clean surface. I'm gonna clean the surface. I'm gonna pull up the video alongside my notes, you know, just so we see the visual. 2 vials of Menopur, each 75 units. 75 units, yes. Another 75 units, that would be 150 units. 7 plus 7 is 140, 5 plus 5 is 10, 150 units. 2 vials Menopur, these babies. And then 1 vial of sodium chloride, needs to be clear and colorless with no particles. Look clear and colorless? Dude, I don't even know. 1 syringe and 1 needle. Syringe to draw and mix Menopur. to inject Menopur. Then I need 1 Q-cap and alcohol swabs. Okay, wash hands with soap and water. Remove cap. Wipe with an alcohol pad. Luna's literally shoving her head against my leg right now. Okay, Q-cap, upside down. Peel, cover. Avoid touching spike. Sodium chloride, flat surface. This guy. Let me move these two over. Sodium chloride, push down on a hard, flat surface.
Carefully pull or twist off the protective needle cap.
I'm scared. Oh yeah, so scared. My dominant hand. Holy shit. How the hell do you hold this? I'm scared. I didn't like that. I don't know if I did it right, but I didn't like that. That was terrible, actually. I really didn't like that. I don't know if I did it right, but that kind of hurt. But that kind of... Hello, vlog. It is day 5 of doing my fertility IVF shot. So I did my ultrasound and blood work done this morning, and usually when I get that done, they would call me later in the day to talk about the results. But while I was there doing the ultrasound, the doctor was telling me that he doesn't think my follicles were growing, or something about my follicles growing or not growing, and they'll see what the estrogen levels in my blood look like, and if they are significantly higher than they were last time I did blood work on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, so just a couple days ago, which they were, we may have to up the dosage of the Menopur shots that I've been doing every day for the past 4 nights, and this will just be the 5th night. And today they want me to up the dosage, so I will be doing another vial of Menopur, so a 3rd one, to just make it more concentrated. So the nurse did warn me that when you do inject the Menopur, it might sting. And it does sting, I will tell you that, it does sting. But because they're trying to get this dosage more concentrated, it might sting more, and I can either do it all in one shot, it would just hurt a little bit more, or I can do it in 2 separate shots, so it's not as bad. I think I'm gonna opt in for the 2 separate shots tonight, tomorrow night, and then I go in for another ultrasound on Tuesday, so they can tell me what's going on from there. Yesterday was day 9 of the IVF process of doing my self-administered shots every night. And yesterday I had gone to one of the ultrasound lab work appointments just to do a check-in of where things are. They can figure out where my blood levels are, so like estrogen levels, all of that sort of stuff that they're looking for, to see when it would be good to start the other injections before we do the trigger shot and before we do the egg retrievals. And yesterday I went in for an appointment and they kind of did a little bit more, did the ultrasound, did blood work, but this time they took out a lot of blood. Maybe like 8 vials of blood, around this big of the vial. Like the lady found the vein and she just kept putting another vial on to get more blood out. And we were done with that. She put a cotton pad on my arm. I was holding it down so she can tape it down, just so there's no blood. And I had to verify, you know, my name, my birthday on each of the little vials of blood, put it in this bag that she was holding. While I was doing that, she saw that my arm was literally gushing blood. I didn't even notice, I didn't feel a thing, but I was like, oh, didn't notice that. Had to get a new band-aid. She was cleaning it up with an alcohol wipe, all of the good stuff there. And then when I went in to get my ultrasound, did the regular thing. They're just checking each ovary to see if the follicles have grown a little bit. And I guess for me, my follicles aren't growing as much as they would like for the time frame. And I think yesterday they found 1 follicle that was getting to a good size. The others just really haven't responded yet to the medication that I've been taking, but the nurse or the you know, the technician was saying that that's a good sign. At least one is growing. It means the others are just about to start growing as well. So hopefully we see some growth there tomorrow when I go in for another appointment. And then hopefully at that point, they'll tell me to start the other injections that I'm supposed to start. Because really at the start of this, they said my estimated egg retrieval date would be the 19th, which is only 5 days away from today. And it's looking like, because it's taking a while for my follicles to grow, that expected date might be pushed back a little bit. I'll have a couple days to recover before I get my PICC line in, and then before chemo starts. You saw that they upped the dosage for the Menopur, which I've been on. I am in the process of ordering more Menopur just to make sure we have enough vials to last however long I need to do this for, and hopefully it's not much longer. I'm just really hoping that tomorrow there is some sort of growth with these follicles going on in my ovaries, because it's making me nervous. It's making me nervous that it's taking a little bit to respond to the medication, especially because in the beginning they were like, you have great looking follicles, there's so many of them because you're so young. You'll be a great recipient to this medication. It seems like you'll respond really well. Meanwhile, you know, it's been over a week at this point, and my follicles are taking their time. They really are. Wait, I forgot one thing. So yes, the reason why they took all of this blood from me yesterday was they were just testing a couple other things than normal. And then I did get a physical. So one of the nurses came in, nurses or doctors, I don't really know. She came in. Normally I would just go in and take my bottoms off, my underwear off. This time they had me take everything off, including bra, all of that. And then I was in this little hospital gown, and I had to pee in a cup just so they can test some other things. And I normally don't have to pee in a cup for these visits, but because I was doing this extra thing to get a physical done, she was checking to see if I had any breast lumps. I had to do this questionnaire to see if I potentially could have any diseases that would affect a potential surrogate if I were to do a surrogacy, or get a surrogate rather, in the future. And that would be in cases if, you know, chemo happens and for some odd reason I wouldn't be able to conceive a baby myself, then I would have these eggs to have a surrogate push the baby out instead of myself. And so they're just testing me for all the stuff in case of that potential, and obviously they don't want whoever is going to be the surrogate to get any diseases of any sorts, and so they asked the questionnaire. She asked me about any tattoos or piercings I have. She checked my vagina with one of those metal beaker things. I really don't know what they're called, but if you know, you know. And yeah, it was easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right guys, we're 2 minutes away. It's like New Year's or something. Final injection, doing that today. Oh my God. Hello, I'm awake.
I feel nothing.
Hello from editing Andrea. So those last few clips, those were the only things I was able to manage to get out of my SD card. I'm not really sure if there's an issue with my SD card or my camera or both, but at least there was something there to end the video with. And just really quickly, I wanted to explain that. So towards the end of, you know, taking all these drugs and the IVF process, the nurse will tell you what time, like specifically what time to do your trigger shots. And for me, I took a shot at a very specific time at night, and then again 12 hours later in the morning. And then from there, another day went by, and then I went in to get my procedure done. And then that morning when I woke up, I felt absolutely insane. I felt like a watermelon was going to explode out of my, downstairs area. And it was just really uncomfortable up until the point where they knocked me out and I woke up after the surgery. So yeah, that's basically those last few clips in a nutshell. If you have any questions of anything more specific, feel free to leave them down below in the comments and I'll be sure to answer those questions. Or we can do a fun little Q&A and I can get into some more of the nitty-gritty about my experience. But until then, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.